immediately began to experience that practicing this meditation practice, forgiveness practice, doing this daily was taking my resentment work deeper than I could have ever imagined. It was like, wow, it was on steroids. And so I continued practicing this meditation, the forgiveness meditation, daily for the last 5 years. It's kind of like an experiment of one. What happens if you do this every day? And what surprisingly arose, and this is something that I wouldn't have predicted, was that in addition to working through resentments in terms of forgiving others, because that's where I started, was working on forgiving others, but the practice involves not only forgiving others, but asking for forgiveness from others, as well as, and this is the clincher for me, is forgiving ourselves. That wasn't really included in my 12-step work explicitly, and now it is required that I have to ask for forgiveness, offer forgiveness, and forgive myself, all in the same meditation, doing this every day for 5 years. What I discovered, and this is really inspired a lot of reflection. We've shared it here. I'm just finishing up a book that really is inspired by this practice on unshaming. And that indicates where this went for me, is I began to realize how it began to open into areas of shame, of judgment of myself, rejection of myself, non-acceptance, that I wasn't even aware that was there. It was the practice that revealed the shame, honest to goodness. It wasn't like, oh, I've got a lot of shame, why don't I practice this? No, it was like doing this kind of surgical work for 5 years, really exhumed, kind of brought up all that had not been worked on, and then provided the methodology for the healing of that which was brought up. And so I've come to see the forgiveness practice as the single strongest antidote in my own life to the shame that has been an underlying, in fact, I would say is the most significant underlying piece that fed my addictions, was shame, learned developmentally early on, carried across my adulthood, acted out in adulthood in terms of massive losses personally and professionally. And you guys are fully aware of those. How is I ever going to heal this? And I really credit, I can feel tears right behind what I'm saying, of how deeply grateful I am for this practice. As I've shared with you, both of you, John and Doug, this is the single most essential element of my recovery practice over the last 5 years. And I've utilized everything imaginable in terms of resources, but in terms of inner meditative healing practice, it's been this practice that's been right at the core of it. So the idea of collaborating with you, John, and with Doug, on creating not only a track that focuses on the essentials of this meditation and then adds a binaural beat component is like mind-blowing to me. I'm still just completely blown out by the potential of this.